Hey everybody, it's Alan. And as you can see from the title of this video, both of these trees died, in quotes. So I guess they had a near-death experience, I'm sorry. Anyway, and they were just sticks. And on each of them I cut a considerable amount of the old limbs off. There's a cut there, there's a cut there, there's a cut there, there's another cut there, and we even have some dead that still persists. On this guy I also cut the dead parts up here. But then I did the scratch test. I think you can see it right there. If we look, can we get in there close? If we look right there, there's that scar where I just took my thumb and just scraped. And if the cambium underneath is green, then the tree's still alive. So it looked dead, but I thought, I'm just going to wait. Let's see what happens. And of course, what happened is they both resprouted like crazy. This tree here is a key lime, and it's a seedling from fruit that I got from a friend who has a huge tree that produces hundreds of key limes. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, she gave me 40. Or I collected 40 from her tree, and it takes about 10 for a pie. So I was eating key lime pie quite a bit. And I took some of the seed and planted them, and I ended up with 12, I believe, that germinated. And then I gave away about half. And I have to admit that citrus is not my favorite bonsai. They're a little temperamental as far as root pruning and whatnot. And of course, they're also temperamental about drying out, because that's what happened to both of these guys. Just inadvertently, when you water with a hand-held nozzle, sometimes you just can't get everything. Sometimes things slip past you. And it's been so dry for the entire month of April and most of May, although luckily we've now had 3 straight days of afternoon thunderstorms, which is typical for the summertime in Florida, from about the 1st of June, and we're pretty much right there, to the end of September. So, now that they've both revived, so now what do I do with it? Woo! Woo! I didn't get to the pause button quick enough. So, what do we do with it? It's all of the new growth on both of them has just shot straight up. And you can see all the dead here. So, what do I do with them? I think right now I'm just going to let it recover. Let it just continue to grow and just see what happens. On the oak, and this is a laurel oak, which is a very popular southern oak. The 2 most popular oaks in this area are laurel and live. And there's only a handful of other oaks that even grow around here. There's a very, very rare turkey oak, which is actually a type of red oak. But they're very rare. You just don't see them that much. And they don't make very good bonsai because they have gigantic leaves. But this guy, once again, let me take this leaf off of here. It was just a stick. It was just all dead. And, look at the growth here. It has... And laurel oaks grow with a flush of growth, and then that hardens off. And then they grow with another flush of growth. And then that hardens off, and so on and so on. So you can see it elongated. And it's interesting because it elongated from way down here. There is some small shoots that did come from above, but the tree put energy into this one. And now this is the leader. And I do plan on removing all of this, to right here. Get rid of that and make that the tree. And so we see that it grew and then it hardened off up into here, and now it's got brand new shoots, a second flush of growth already. And a few weeks ago it looked like it was dead. So if you have trees that do die, quote unquote, give them the scratch test. If there's green cambium, typically what I do is I just wait, and I give them about 3 weeks. 3 weeks to a month. And if nothing has happened, or if it's barely sprouted and still looks like it has really no chance, then it goes into the compost, goes into the yard trash to be ground into mulch at the city dump. But these have both recovered super nice, so I will be keeping both of them. The key lime, I'm really not sure how I'm going to style it. I have to admit, citrus is not my favorite bonsai. And the live oaks are just sort of an experiment. You don't really see a lot of oak trees as bonsai in Florida. But I have 2 mature trees that give me acorns all over the place, and then the squirrels gift me with seedlings because they stuff acorns everywhere into every pot, just so I get seedling laurel oaks popping up all over the place. So I thought, I'm going to grow some. So I have 1 tree that I put into a bonsai pot. Should I go get him? Because he's actually kind of nice. So I'm going to give this guy a little pause, and I'll show you the one in the bonsai pot. And it's exactly the same age as this guy, just a little more developed, and it was just looking really nice, and I thought, I'm going to put that in a bonsai pot. So I will show you that. So here he is. It's a double trunk, and I think I'm going to keep it a double trunk. I am very sad that I've noticed that this branch has died right here, and that would have been a perfect branch to bring this tree out to make more of a canopy. This is a nice little branch to do the same thing here. And I have been pinching this tree. So I've been pinching the new growth as it emerges. And it's a young tree, and it's just in training. But I just like the movement of it. It's actually grown now to where it's not as pretty as it was before. But that's okay. It's a young tree, and it has a long way to go. So if we have parts of this tree that need some work, that's perfectly appropriate for me. It's a young tree, and I can't expect it to look like anything but a young tree. But I'm liking it. I'm liking the form. I'm liking the flow. And yes, I really wanted this branch to live so it could come out to here. But it didn't, so we'll just go from there. Maybe bring this branch forward and have it lower. So I know laurels are tricky as bonsai. All oaks are tricky as bonsai as far as I'm concerned. So the fact that one died back to almost nothing, but now is regrowing is not surprising. And citrus are also, like I said, they're not my favorite because they are also touchy. But I have so many trees that are so reliably tough, Portulicarias, and all my ficus are almost indestructible. They almost never die unless they get too cold. And so every now and then, in my collection, I try to push the envelope a little with trees that I know are a little more touchy. And, if it doesn't work out, then that's fine. So I will keep you updated on all of these guys. I think this one here in the bonsai pot definitely has the potential to be a very interesting tree. And I usually just wait until the tree is dormant, and then I'll do some major styling on this guy. For now, I want it to just be healthy and growing, and then as it's just coming out of dormancy in next winter, like end of February, we'll do some more styling. So that's it for this video. So I appreciate everyone who's subscribed, and if you like this video, hit the like button and all that other good stuff, and I will see you in the next video.